In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, on a crisp October evening in 2023, my 16-year-old daughter, Lily Carter, was brimming with excitement as she set up Halloween decorations in our front yard. She'd spent weeks crafting a chilling yet playful scene. Faux tombstones, skeletal hands clawing up from the dirt, and eerie orange lights draped around our maple tree. "Dad, doesn't this look epic?" she called out, her eyes sparkling with pride. From the porch, I grinned. "You've outdone yourself, kiddo. The neighborhood's gonna love it." Lily, always the creative soul, lived for Halloween's spooky charm. Our house looked like a scene from a light-hearted horror flick, creepy, but harmless. That's when Susan Reynolds stormed onto our lawn. Susan, 55, was the iron-fisted president of the Willow Creek HOA, notorious for her relentless nitpicking and power-hungry antics. She strutted around like she owned every blade of grass in the neighborhood. "What is this monstrosity?" she shrieked, jabbing a finger at Lily's decorations as if they were a crime scene. "They're Halloween decorations, Mrs. Reynolds," Lily replied, her voice polite but confused. "I've been working hard on them." Susan's face twisted. "This is grotesque. It's disturbing the peace and dragging down property values." I stepped off the porch, try to keep things civil. "Susan, they're just decorations." Lily put a lot of effort into this, but Susan wasn't having it. "This looks like a real graveyard. It's morbid and unacceptable in a family community." Lily's face fell. "But Halloween's supposed to be spooky," she said softly. Susan snapped. "Don't you dare talk back to me, young lady. I'm reporting this to the HOA." 3 days later, Susan called an emergency HOA meeting claiming a dire community threat. "I'm Judge Michael Thompson, a federal district judge with 22 years on the bench. But in Willow Creek, I was just Mike Lily's dad, who worked a vague government job. I kept my career under wraps to protect my family's privacy." The community center buzzed with bewildered neighbors as Susan stood at the front, wielding a remote like a prosecutor in a high-stakes trial. "We face a grave danger," she declared, clicking to display photos of Lily's decorations on a screen. "The Carter family has turned their yard into a scene of death and violence." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Mrs. Larson, an elderly neighbor, raised her hand. "Susan, those are just Halloween decorations. My grandkids think they're fun." Susan's voice hit a fever pitch. "Fun? These are symbols of murder. This girl is clearly disturbed." My blood boiled, but I stayed calm-eyed, seen her type in courtrooms before. "Susan," I said, standing, "my daughter made those for harmless fun. There's nothing dangerous here." She sneered. "Harmless? Your daughter's mind is twisted." The room fell silent as she clicked to a close-up of a tombstone labeled R.I.P. John Reynolds. Gasps echoed. Susan's husband, Tom, stood up. "That's not my name, it's just a prop." Susan silenced him. "This is a death threat against my family. This girl is planning murder." Lily, sitting beside me, started to cry. "I just picked random names for the tombstones," she whispered. "I didn't mean anything by it." Susan pointed at her, venomous. "You think murder is funny? You're a psychopath." I stood, my voice low but firm. "Stop attacking my daughter." Susan doubled down. "She's a criminal making terrorist threats. She should be arrested and executed in the electric chair." The room froze. Even her allies looked horrified. Susan demanded an HOA vote to report Lily to the police. Shockingly, half the room raised their hands, swayed by her theatrics. "Motion passed," she crowed. "I'll call the police tomorrow to report Lily Carter as a threat." Lily sobbed. "Dad, I didn't do anything wrong." I hugged her tight. "Don't worry, sweetheart. This isn't over." Susan smirked. "Your daughter will pay for this." I met her gaze. "No, Susan. You just made the biggest mistake of your life." The next morning, Susan called the police, ranting about terrorist threats. Officer Daniels arrived, puzzled. "Ma'am, these are just Halloween decorations." Susan insisted they were death threats, but he shook his head. "This isn't criminal. File a civil complaint if you want." Furious, Susan vowed to escalate to the FBI. What she didn't know was that I presided in the federal courthouse where she planned to file her complaint. On Monday, Susan marched into my chambers, clutching a folder of evidence, not recognizing me in my robes. "Your Honor," she began, "I'm Susan Reynolds, Willow Creek HOA president. I'm here to report a teenage terrorist, Lily Carter, who's threatening our community with violent symbols." She spread photos of Lily's decorations across my desk. I played along, neutral. "These look like Halloween decorations." Susan snapped. "They're threats. She put my husband's name on a tombstone. She's planning murder." I leaned forward. "You want her arrested?" Her eyes gleamed. "Yes, Your Honor. She should face the death penalty electric chair for terrorizing us." I sat back, stunned by her malice. "You want a 16-year-old executed for decorations?" She nodded fiercely. "She's a psychopath who enjoys death." "Do you know who Lily Carter's father is?" I asked. Susan faltered. "Some government worker, Mike Thompson." "What?" I stood. "I'm Judge Michael Thompson. Lily is my daughter." Her face drained of color. "You just demanded I sentence my own child to death." She stammered. "I didn't know." I pressed the intercom. "Send in Marshall Evans." Susan panicked. "This is a mistake." But I wasn't done. "You filed false reports, committed perjury, and tried to use this court to harass a child. Those are federal crimes." Marshall Evans cuffed her as she sobbed, pleading ignorance. The FBI launched an investigation, uncovering Susan's history of false reports against neighbors. Her arrest made headlines. HOA president demands teen's execution over Halloween decorations. Social media exploded, dubbing her Electric Chair Susan. She lost everything: her position, family, and reputation. After pleading guilty to federal charges, she was sentenced to 12 years in prison and ordered to pay $500,000 in restitution. Lily, resilient and brilliant, graduated valedictorian and earned a full ride to Yale Law School. She founded the Lily Carter Foundation to protect kids from abusive adults, helping thousands. Susan, released after 10 years, lived a broken life in a halfway house, haunted by her actions. Years later, I saw her in a grocery store, frail and defeated. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "You tried to destroy my daughter," I replied. "You'll carry that forever." Lily's story is now taught in law schools, her decorations displayed in a museum as a symbol of free expression. Willow Creek's HOA, under new leadership, became a model of community support. Susan's tale remains a warning. Unchecked power and malice have consequences. What do you think? Was Susan's punishment too harsh? Or did she deserve every consequence? Should HOAs have the power to police decorations? Share your thoughts below, like, and subscribe for more stories like this.